Hiya, my name is Roslyn, and I have started doing some videos on YouTube as a first time mum just to kind of go through my experiences and talk them through so that I don't go mad. And if there's any other mums in the same situation, then you can kind of see what I'm doing. If it's any help, awesome. And if you can help me, even better. So, yeah, at the moment, I just thought I'd drop on and give a wee update on my fitness because I mentioned in a previous video that I was going to try and put a bit more focus on it, and I wanted to feel a bit more confident and lose a bit of weight, which I know is tricky postpartum. So for me, I've been big into fitness, and throughout my life. That's a bit of an exaggeration. Throughout my adult life, I've always liked the gym. I've always liked going to classes or lifting weights, and I got really into running for a while. Did some half marathons, so I've always had like some level of fitness. And actually, before I got pregnant, I was probably one of my fittest that I've been. The issue I then had was when I was pregnant, I was so exhausted. I was pretty lucky in terms of side effects that for the most part, like I had some nausea, some like food aversions, like everything had to be crispy or crunchy, like out the air fryer, a lot of beige foods. But I wasn't, throwing up every day or anything, so I count my blessings. But the exhaustion I felt was like bone deep. Like a dementor had come and sucked all the energy at me. I was so tired. So I think I beat myself up a bit that I didn't go to the gym while I was pregnant. I did it once. Um, and it just, I don't know if I could have. See, when I look back, I was so exhausted, I couldn't manage it. And I need to just stop, going what if. I didn't go to the gym, I couldn't have went to the gym. And therefore my fitness levels declined. And obviously as you get, I'm just checking the monitor, baby's moving. As I got bigger, I was more, limited my mobility. I ended up with preeclampsia as well, so I had a lot of swelling. So I was just sick of it. I felt massive. I just felt really limited in what I could do with my body. And then after I had my baby, I ended up with an emergency C-section. So again, my mobility was like limited again. And I had like no core. I struggled to get out of bed. Like everything was like back to square one. So for me, I was desperate to like get back into some form of fitness just because I felt so weak, and it was really driving me mad. But for the first part of postpartum, we had a sort of very colicky newborn, and for me, what I had to do was do a lot of rest. Sorry if you can hear the beeping in the background, she's just rolled over. A lot of rest, a lot of recovery. So for the good first sort of 3-4 months, that was my entire focus. I did nothing but take my time to recover. And I think that helped a lot in terms of like laying the basis for me then going back to the gym. I think if I'd rushed into it, I would have done myself some damage. So I started at the beginning of August, where we are now sort of mid-October. And in that time, I went from 84 kilos down to, as of last weekend, it was 74.6. So I'm 0.6 kilos off of losing 10 kilos, which I am so happy about. I've noticed a massive difference in my body, in my legs and my stomach. People started commenting, they can see it in my face. Obviously, people that know I'm actively trying to lose weight. It's not just, people making offhand comments. But yeah, it's definitely more and more noticeable now. I feel my mobility is getting back. I don't feel as clunky trying to move. I just feel so much better in myself. So I'm so glad that I started it. It was somebody I saw on Instagram. I want to say it's Marsha's Peaches. And she sort of specifies in a lot of postpartum care and breastfeeding mums, because for me, I'm still breastfeeding. And I didn't want to like drop my calories too low and affect my milk, and obviously that comes as a priority. But I would love to have lost a bit of weight and regain my fitness. So what I have been doing is 3 workouts a week, which are weights, but light weights. I've only got sort of ones that I've been doing in the house while she's been having a nap. and they're not heavy weights. I think the max I've got is a 5 kilogram dumbbell, and then I have a little barbell set which I think goes up to 20 kilos, but I've only been using sort of 7.5 at a max. So I've not been feeling as strong as I used to. I used to do quite a lot of heavy weights. I don't feel I've got my strength back yet, but it's getting there. It's starting to feel a bit easier, and it's kind of muscle memory is kicking back in a little bit, I think. So I do 3 weights workouts, one's legs, one's glutes, and one's arms. And then I do a postpartum recovery, which I didn't understand. I was supposed to do that sort of a few times a week, and I've only been doing it once a week. So I'm going to start upping that and hoping that can help. I think that it's really good that the program has stuff like that as well, to be really considerate of rebuilding your core and taking time for that. It doesn't just launch you into lifting things that you're not ready for. And what I particularly like about it is there's substitutions. So see if there's I tore a muscle in my stomach just from sneezing, so I couldn't do deadlifts for a while. So you could substitute it and find other things that would work the same muscles and allow you to just do a different movement. So I liked that it wasn't cut and dry. If this doesn't work for you, good luck. It was very much it'll adapt to what you need. So I've just been really enjoying it, to be honest. It's a bit tricky at times making the time, Sometimes you think, oh, she's going to go down for a long nap, and you go get started, and then she wakes up after half an hour and you go, right, okay, got to change tact. And quite often they'll maybe pile up until the weekend. I'll have to do a couple at the weekend when my husband's here to give me a hand. So I just need to I think the main thing is try and keep it a priority. So I've been doing a lot of meal prep and getting things frozen, and that's helped so much. I don't think I could do this if I hadn't spent the time doing the meal prep. That's the biggest thing for me, because realistically I don't think the weights that I'm doing are going to make the big difference with my weight dropping off. I think it's this consistency with the diet. So yeah, apart from the weights, I've also been doing a half-hour walk a day, but I think that's really nice anyway for my wee girl. We get out the carrier, get out in the pram, and we just get a bit of sunlight or a bit of fresh air. It's been nice. So that's in terms of exercise. And in terms of the diet, it's been, for me personally, it's been 1,800 calories and set macros to hit. And for that, it didn't feel too drastic. I'm still eating a good amount of food, and I can adjust it to suit, what I'm doing. Because for me, I would love to, I'm not one of those people that can just have be super disciplined and have chicken and rice. That doesn't suit me. If I want a wee chocolate bar, I want to be able to have a chocolate bar. So most days I've worked in a Freddo, because for me I want a wee bit of chocolate with my cup of tea, or and the fact that I can have that every day means that I'm not then reaching a weekend and being oh, sack it, I'm gonna get a big bar of chocolate and just go to town. It's meant that I've had treats, or I've had stuff that I enjoy all throughout, and it doesn't feel limiting. We went out to Wagamama's and I worked it into my calories, so for me that's really lovely, the flexibility. But yeah, I think for food wise, what I've been loving is the app that I'm signed up through does give you meal ideas, and I started off with that for the first couple of weeks, but in reality it's a bit of a faff. What I've been loving doing is there's a cookbook that Tom Kerridge has got, and it's Keep Fit and Lose Weight, I think it's called. I'll double check and I'll link it below. And that has been fantastic. He's got the most delicious meals, and they're all broken down to have calories, macros, so I can kind of look at a glance and be well, if I have that for my lunch and this for my dinner, I know that's giving me about what I'm looking for. And it's been so helpful, and I've not had a bad meal out of it yet. They've all been delicious, and a lot of them I've remade multiple times. So things they've got peri peri chicken with dirty rice. I've made the paprika chicken loads. They've got a lovely cottage pie. Beef chilies are fantastic, smoky beef chili. And then most recently I've made the beef ragu, but I've not actually had that one yet. So I've got a little stockpile in my freezer, and it just makes life so much easier. And I was talking to a friend about it who's been struggling because she's just been grabbing things on the go, and I was for me, I could not stick to this without having all these pre-made things. So either at the weekend, me or my husband will, manage the baby and manage the food, and I'll get a whole load of this stuff made, and it's just been a lifesaver. And it's also tasty. Like, I am someone that loves my food. Like, it's no wonder that I put on my weight in pregnancy. I love food, and there's nothing wrong with that, and I'm still going to continue to enjoy my food, but I'm being more considerate with what I'm eating. And I think that sometimes when people talk about weight loss, especially postpartum, there's a bit of like, oh, be kind to yourself, you've just had a baby. And I totally get that. And that's like, I did take a good space at the start just to, recover. But I think there's something about, treating your body well and like being considerate of what you're putting in and moving your body, which is being kind to yourself. Because I know for me, I feel so much better. And I know I'm linking it with weight, but just in general, like, my body's feeling like I can move more easily. I'm lighter on my feet. I'm just, all in all, like, having an easier time of things. And especially as my baby gets heavier, I need to be able to keep up with her and like keep lifting her. So the weight training is going to come in handy. So yeah, for me, I am so happy with how this is going. I'm so glad that I signed up for it. I signed up for like a 6-month deal. So let me see where we started in August, September, October, November, December, January. So I thought that would lead me up to my return to work. I think is going to be sometime in March. So that will take me up to just before I go back to my work. And ideally, I would love to be able to just fit into my old work clothes. So I don't need to go like shopping for a new wardrobe. Like, the stress of that would just be something I don't want to worry about when I'm already a bit worried about going back to work in general, just to leave my baby. So I'm sorry, I'm just absolutely rambling today. I am very happy that I started this new fitness journey. And I think it's something that I've done it throughout my sort of time. I've always sort of used these sort of like, 8-week challenges and things like that with different people to sort of readjust when I felt that I've been, getting a bit heavier than I would like, or my fitness is suffering. I want to put more focus on, get my steps in and doing stuff. So these challenges always seem to work for me. And I think the accountability is a massive thing because, something like my mum said, she's like, oh, you've done all this before, you know what to do. Like, yeah, I know what to do. I know I need to eat less and exercise more. But having like someone that's there to check in with you and, give you advice or give you encouragement, like things like that just work for me. And I know it's a good bit of money to put into it, but I'm already happy that I'm getting back what I need. I've lost 10 kilos almost in, 2.5 months. And it's been working out about 1 kilo a week roughly. And for me, that's great. It's sustainable weight loss. And, my milk supply is not suffering. I'm still, feeling satisfied and full. And overall, I'm feeling my mobility, my fitness getting back. So it's like ticking every box that I wanted ticked. In terms of clothes, things are starting to feel looser. My baggy things are starting to feel baggy again. But we are entering the leggings and jumper season, which is my favourite. And I'm still going to continue to wear leggings and oversized jumpers. But I think it's just more comfortable knowing that I'm not wearing it because I'm trying to hide my body. I feel like I'm wearing it now because it's comfortable. And just that sort of switch in mindset has been really nice. It's just feeling a lot better. Obviously, I've still got a bit of a belly. I've still got a good bit of weight to lose, to be honest, to get back to what I would like. But it's just feeling better and better. So I'll check in with you again maybe like around Christmas or New Year, see how we're doing towards the end of it. But yeah, overall, I'm just super happy with it and want to continue on. So yeah, that's my update. If anyone's kind of thinking that they might want to dip their toe back in, all I would say is like, take it easy on yourself, because when I started doing these workouts, I was so unfit. Everything felt like a massive struggle. And like the weights that I were doing in my head, I was like, this is pathetic. I used to lift so much. I used to do this. You have to just kind of like throw all that out the window and just like start again. It's super humbling to just be like, right, I can't lift anything. Like, let's go back to square one. Like, there's certain things I had to do, like unweighted squats to start, because I was just so unfit and my legs and my body were not used to it. So yeah, take it easy on yourself, take it slow, because there's nothing worse than overdoing it in the gym and then like I couldn't, like, I was very careful at not overdoing it, because I was like, I can't overdo my arms and then not be able to lift her because I'm the only one here and I need to. So yeah, I think just take it easy, take it slow. And for me, I've just been happy that it's been like a steady every week, just a wee bit off, and just feeling like better and better. So yeah, hopefully if you're on that sort of similar journey, you're seeing the results that you want. And if there's any questions on any specifics of what I'm doing, I'm more than happy to answer. So yeah, hope you are all doing well. And if you're in that postpartum era, very much be kind to yourself. But if there's something that you want to do for yourself, then I would encourage you to go for it, because I'm very glad that I did. All right. Bye. See you later.